Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video is about the process of creation your perfume brand or how everything is conceived since the beginning, the whole entire process, how everything works. So if you're thinking creating your perfume brand or you're just a perfume enthusiast or you just have an idea about how the perfume is created, this video is going to be very helpful for you, so stay until the end. First of all, I want to thank all my subscribers for the nice comments, for people who buy my books. Thank you so much to Australia, United States, India, Europe, Africa, all over the world. Thank you guys so much. And let's start. So if you are thinking or if you have an idea about creating your own perfume brand, you have to know very important things, and there is not enough information online to find it because the whole perfume business is super restricted and secret business, like a business. There is like not at all information, and there is not at all good information at all. First of all, to how to do, where to start, how is everything created. So that's why I'm going to give you the whole information here, because I am myself in the process of creating my own perfume brand, but I am a perfumer. So if you have an idea, you want to make your own perfume brand, you're not a perfumer, I'm going to tell you from A to Z how everything works. For example, many designer brands like, for example, Donna Karan, Giorgio Armani, Hermes, they have their own perfumes. But few of those brands they have in-house perfumers. For example, Dior, Hermes and Cartier, they have their own in-house perfumers, which means that they have their own perfume department with their own in-house perfumer who they create the formulas and the scent, the perfume themselves. So those houses, they have the advantage that they have a creative team and one main creative senior perfumer that do the job for them. For example, now Dior have Francis Christian, who also created Baccarat Rouge, and he has his own brand. He is now the creative perfume director, senior perfumer for Dior perfumes. So he creates now their perfumes. Other example is Cartier. They have Laurence. She's creating she's the in-house perfumer. And they have Hermes, they have their own in-house perfumer. Other brands, they don't have in-house perfumer. So what they do, they contact a perfume manufacturer or perfume house in France or all over the world, if they are in Europe, in France or Spain, or if the States in States, and they go and they say, listen, we have an idea of launching a new perfume. And they create what we call in perfume terminology the briefing. So they go and contact the houses and they have, this is our briefing. We have an idea of creating a perfume that smells like smoky desert rose that was put in the sea. Just an idea, you know. Then they first contact is the house marketing team or the commercials. Then other person is involved, the evaluator, and this evaluator is the liaison, the person between the customer, the client, and the perfumer. So they say, okay, give us all the details you want. Who is your target? Who's gonna buy your perfume? They're gonna say, oh, this is for women between 30 and 40 years old. And our main country of selling is the United States. And our preferred customer, it's a woman that she's independent, but she's romantic and she's will go to the cinema and she wants to smell this kind of details. This is part of the briefing. Then the evaluator goes and create the whole story about how this perfume should smell and give the briefing to the perfumer. The perfumer start making samples. So it could be many samples, usually 2 or 3 samples, and the perfumer said, okay, I prepare for you 3 samples. This first sample smells like desert rose, put in the water, and I put himself a little bit of rose, a little bit of this, and the evaluator present this to the client. The client said, I like it, but I need to smell more like the desert. So the evaluator goes back to the perfumer and said, okay, can you make it smell more like desert? And the perfumer has to make it smell like desert. And this process can go backward and forward many times until they reach an agreement about the final products. When this agreement is reached, the client make a contract and said, okay, go with production, and the in-house house, the perfumer house or the manufacturer, they go with a production of this fragrance. After that, this fragrance should be registered and stuff. There is regulations and safety and regulations department, all this kind of stuff, but we're not going to talk about this right now. We're going to talk about the first steps. So this is how it works. In perfumer house, like Hermes, for example, or Dior, they have their own marketing team, and they said, okay, now we want to create a new perfume. Can you make it? They go to Francis Kurkdjian and said, now this is an idea, can you just make it? And he makes all the formulation, the formula, and then they have some like local manufacturers, or even they have some manufacturers in-house, and they make the perfumes themselves, or they hire a third-party manufacturer. This is how it works. But they have their own perfumer in the house. They don't contact the perfumer house with the perfumer from the manufacturer. They have their own perfumer. Now, the third option, guys, is like me, for example. I am a perfumer. I make my own perfume formulation here in my laboratory. So I create my own perfume formulas. I have all the ingredients here. And what I'm going to do now, for example, because I want these fragrances to be manufactured. Not for me, because if it's for me, it's too much work and I need to provide a lot of safety and regulation documents, and it takes much more time, it's complicated. That's why, for my brand, I contacted another manufacturer company here in Spain. I gave them my formula with a non-disclosure agreement, and they're gonna produce the minimum amount of quantities I want. So here is the catch. If you want to create your own perfume brand, you must find or a manufacturer that's gonna make all the job for you. For example, you're gonna go and contact them and say, okay, make me a fragrance. You have just an idea. Make me a very seductive, long-lasting fragrance with a little bit of naturals inside that smells like a very sexy woman. This kind of stuff with a little bit of rose, a little bit of spices, and this kind of stuff. This is just your idea. And you're contacting a manufacturer, or they call it like white label or third-party manufacturer. Those people gonna make the perfume formula for you, which is very good. The problem here, guys, is that this manufacturer, perfume manufacturer, they have minimum order quantity, or MOQ. And those minimum order quantities can be very high. For example, they can tell you our minimum order quantity is 10 kilograms, not liter because you're speaking about kilograms here, of each reference. Or some of those manufacturers, they have the whole process. They make you the formula, they filled in your perfumes in the bottle, and they label the bottle, and they make a paper box for the perfume. So this can cost you the whole process, and they also are responsible for everything that is safety and regulatory affairs. So this process can cost you, for example, they can tell you we have minimum of 1,000 bottles, order from a reference. So, and they're gonna tell you with the perfume inside, perfume formula, with the safety regulation, the bottle, the labeling, and the packaging, one bottle is gonna cost you 18 euros. And you have to order minimum 1,000 bottles. This is nothing because most of them are asking 10,000 bottles. So let's take an example. They're going to tell you minimum 1,000 bottles. This 1,000 bottles multiplied by 18, it's 18,000 euros only for one perfume. So now you have an idea about the scale and the money you need to make your own perfume. So there are two other options, guys, that are less expensive. For example, you can contact an independent perfumer. This is what I do exactly. I create my own perfumes, but I create also perfume formulas for other people who want to produce them. You can create this kind of perfumers, and they can charge you. Let me tell you about the prices here. If it's somebody super famous like Francis Cristian or senior super famous perfumer, they can ask you between 20 and 30,000 euros only for making the formula here, like this. This is my book. Like this formula here with the ingredients formulation of the fragrance that you want to make. Not famous perfumers like me, for example, or other perfumers, they can ask you between 2 and 3,000 euros by reference, a perfume for creation of the formula. I ask my prices a bit lower because I know, guys, how frustrating it is that you have a dream, you cannot achieve it because of the stupid money, and you have to be very careful with the budget. So I ask a bit less than this, and I make up special packages if you have more than one perfume formulation. So I create the perfume formulas only for the fine fragrance and the perfume stuff we're talking about, for the very, very good package and low prices, because this is not my main source of income. I do this apart. My main source of income is launching now I'm launching my own perfume brands. And this is the way somebody decided to go. They contact independent perfumer that charges, for example, for one perfume they charge them 2,000 euros. The perfumer makes the formula, it gives them the formula, they contact independent manufacturer that produces and manufacture for, they call it white label, for third people. They make the perfume compound juice with all the safety and regulations there, and then they send them the liquid to the people, and the people start to bottle themselves in the bottle and the different formats that they want. For example, here this is 20 milliliters, and this is a bit bigger, 30 milliliters, and people bottle and label. They buy bottles from other sources, other suppliers. They just put the juice inside. They put alcohol to dilute it to the percentage they want. They put the label, and they can sell them. And you can sell them everywhere in the world on internet. Like with your website, or if you have distributors, contact distributors and sell them like this. And this is much more economical because you don't need to order humongous big quantities. You can order, of course, there are some manufacturers, they're going to tell you have to order 5 kilos, 10 kilos, but still it's much more cheaper. Because if you have the formula that is not very expensive, you don't use too many expensive ingredients inside, it's still less expensive to buy 10 kilos than to buy 1000 bottles. You know what I mean? This process probably is going to cost you in the beginning for one fragrance, and if you start with small quantities, this can cost you between 5 to 8,000, let's say 10,000 for everything, which is much better. Now, there is a third option, guys, which I discovered recently. Stay like this, I'm gonna bring some samples because I wanna tell you the idea. Don't move. Okay, here. Sorry. So, the third option, guys, which is genius but horrible at the same time, and I don't recommend at all. I'm gonna tell you why. So there is a website, and there is one of the biggest perfume manufacturer and perfume producer, ingredients manufacturer in the world. It's based in Switzerland. Firmenich is one of the biggest manufacturer of perfume ingredients in the world. And they created a special department called Scent Made, which is automatic online platform where you can go and order a perfume. They're gonna make it for you. So let me tell you how it works. So this is based on artificial intelligence. So there is a platform, scentmate.com. I'm not making any kind of promotions here because I don't like, I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, I don't like their products and I don't recommend it at all, but just for your information to know it. Scentmate.com, but you cannot even register there because you need to have your own company in order to register. Let's say you have the company like me and you register there. They, once you register, you have to wait, they have to approve you, they create your profile, they send you passwords. So you go on the website and you enter the password in your login so you can start your own journey there. What they provide as a service. It's very easy, but unfortunately it doesn't work because they make horrible stuff. It's created by artificial intelligence, most of the stuff. I'm gonna tell you. So you go there and you see they telling you, oh, you want to create a fragrance. We're gonna do everything for you from 1 to Z online. You don't have to do absolutely, we do everything online, it's super fast. So you just have to choose how your fragrance want to smell, and they have options. You have to choose, I think, between 5 12 ingredients maximum. You choose, they have different notes. Rose, vanilla, sandalwood, also lavender. You choose how you want to smell and you describe. I want to smell like this and this, my target is this, gonna be sold in Europe. You just describe. What they do, depending on what kind of notes you choose, they prepare you a sample, 2 samples for example, and they send you the sample absolutely free of charge to you. You evaluate. If you don't like, you start creating a new brief with a new notes. They make you the same stuff until you like something and you make an order because they tell you, okay, this sample, for example, that we created, 1 kilogram is going to cost you 56 euros, which is absolutely nothing, 56 euros, but you can imagine what's inside. And they give you the whole idea, how this is gonna smell, this description, blah 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 blah, and they send you the free sample, which I did just for experimentation. for myself. They send me 2 samples. I'm gonna show you here just to see. Fine fragrance base. Here, this is how it looks. They make me the samples. You're telling me what kind of sample you want, 20%, 30%. And this is very fast. It takes super fast, guys. It takes probably 2 days. They make the whole stuff, the formula. They don't send you the formula. They send you the sample. You evaluate, and you can go on the website and say, okay, I want 10 kilos. They have minimum of 10 kilos, but they're flexible. I want 10 kilos of this, and they send you the liquid, whatever you are in the world, free of charges. I'm not sure, but I think it's free of charges. Okay, until now, all good. But the most important thing is this stuff smells horrible. When I say horrible, it really smells disgustingly horrible and cheap. So I created a briefing and I told them what kind of notes, and they put me, first of all, notes that I don't want this to smell like. They put me lavender, and I didn't mention lavender. And they put me other stuff. This one they call it lavender flakes. Nothing to have with my briefing. And this they call it green flower cologne. And my briefing was about the cedar wood. Nothing to have with the briefing. Not only this, but the stuff itself, I don't want to even spray it because it smells so cheap and bad. This one smells like a cleaning product for the windows. And this one smells like a cleaning product for the floor, or like a grandpa's lavender soap from 2000 years ago. Horrible stuff. Really horrible. Disgusting. This is the worst part. So if you want to make something cheap, and you're sure that you're gonna sell it to somebody cheap, this may be also a option for you. But if you want to make something nice, good smelling that nobody else have, this is not an option for you, because nobody is gonna invest and nobody's gonna buy these cleaning product smelling perfumes. And yes, so you have these 3 options, contacting in-house if you have the budget between 30 to 50,000 minimum, contacting directly the perfumer house manufacturer. They can make it for you. They have their own marketing stuff and bottling and everything together, but you need money. If you don't have money, but you want to make something super exquisite and something bespoke and something niche, you have to contact independent perfumer. You can do everything by yourself. And the third option, if you have like super small budget and your target is making cheap fragrances and bad smelling stuff, and you still want to know that you're gonna sell this, you can go and contact Scentmate. They're gonna make everything for you. This is how it works. I hope this is helpful for you guys. I'm gonna make a second part of this video about regulations, about labeling, about marketing, everything you need to know about starting your own perfume house. And for example, I'm gonna put also on the description of this box and here my professional email. If somebody of you has the great idea and the great dream to creating a fragrance but doesn't have the humongous budget and needs help from independent perfumer to creating the formulas, you can contact me, and I'm always there to help you guys with questions or even creating your formulas for you. So thank you very much for staying here, and I'm gonna make a new video with second part about other important things to know if you want to create your own perfume brand. Bye bye.